Hi guys, I'm Anabolic here. Today we're gonna talk about the back extension machine. Now we've all seen the machine in the gyms, of course, but a lot of the people when they wanna do this exercise, they do it in the wrong way. Now I'm gonna come from the bottom up and tell you what the mistakes are and how you can perform it correctly and even challenge yourself more. So the first thing is, I see them, most of the people, especially young people, they're on the tip of the toes. Guys, this is not a calf exercise. You don't need to be all the way up on the tip of your toes. Your heels should be pushed to the pad underneath, so your legs should not feel any stress, especially in the knee. The second thing is they're either too in or too out. When you're too in and the toes are pointed straightly forward, it's just a lot of tension and not a good tension, but a lot of pressure from the pad on your quads. So you don't want that either. And when you're all the way to the side like this, it's again gonna limit the range of motion you're gonna perform. So make sure this is something in between. Now, some people turn it a little bit to the side, some people a little more, but make sure you find the place for your feet that's best for you. The second thing is when you come down, come up, you see that the pad is either too high, it's on the abdomen and the stomach, or too low, it's on the quads. The tip of the pad should be where you hinge. And by hinge, I mean when you put your fingers like this, the line that you see you're hinging, that's the place that it should be. So you're gonna try it. You're gonna first with the heels a little bit pointed to the outside. And as you can see, this is high for me, so I need to bring it down. So I bring it too much down. And as you can see, again, this is too low. So I have to find the place that's best for me. Again, I try it with my heels on the pad. Now this is a good place for me. When you come up, a lot of the people that I see, they make this mistake. They make it into a hip flexor exercise. So when they get tired, especially the people that hold weights in their hands as well, if you do not feel it in the backs, you do not need to hold more weight. You have to correct your form. So they come up like this. Now, as you saw, my hip was coming off the pad. So especially the people that have their toes pointed forward, they tend to do this. Again, you're pushing your thighs to the pad and bringing your hip back. This is just hip flexors. It's not the back. You should aim for your back. Now, this is where it becomes tricky. You see people going down and up with a straight back. Now, if you see the anatomy of the back, there are a lot of muscles, but the main muscles that we want to target with this exercise are first three main muscles that come from here to here. It's called longissimus, iliocostalis, and spinalis. The iliocostalis go to the ribs and all the way up. The longissimus is in between, and the spinalis is just on your vertebrae, just a little bit to the side of your vertebrae, and they come from each vertebrae or each rib cage that you have, and they come one by one. They do not come from here to here. And even if they do work like that, you still need to have some kind of extension of your back. So when you come like this, let me show you down here. When you come like this, you might feel a little bit pressure, but most of the pressure is on your hips. Of course, you need to push with your hips so you deactivate the hip flexors. Because if you don't do that, you might see yourself doing this. But if you push your hips, you cannot bring it any forward, so you push to the pad. But again, when you're straight, it's not working in that extension that you want. What you need to do is bring your hand like this. So your abs should not touch it. So when you come down like this, you're touching your hand. This should be held here. You do not need to touch it. And you should try to do some kind of a crunch. So you go in, come up. Go in, come up. Again, I'm not touching my hands. I'm going to show it once again. This is what I see everybody doing. This is how you should perform. Now, there are some variations that you can do to attack other muscles as well. As I said, there are three main muscles coming from here to here. Of course, there are lats that help with this process as well. Also, your QL muscle, which comes from here to your ribcage, they're gonna work as well. But there are some deep muscles, three main deep muscles called spinalis, rotators, and multifidus. They help you kind of do a transverse move, kind of rotation of the spine. So if you want to target them as well, all you need to do is when you crunch, come a little bit to the side. When you crunch, come a little bit to the side. To the side. When you do that, you're gonna incorporate those muscles as well. Now, another thing that you can do is target the higher muscles as well. They're called spinalis. Of course, we've got a lot of muscles in here, but there are two main muscles that help you bring your neck high as well. Spinalis cervicis and capitis. So when you're doing the crunch and coming up, try to look a little bit forward. Do not overextend it. Do not exaggerate it. Just bring it a little bit forward. So try to look back, forward, back, forward. And you do not need to add weight here. If you want to add weight, lift some lighter weight and bring your hands to your front. When you do that, because you're giving it distance, it's going to be harder. And you're not going to feel it all in your hands and your biceps and your forearms. And yeah, the only thing that you should keep focused is just the heel, deep down. It's okay if you have a little bit bend in your knees, because not everybody has the flexibility to come down and up. You might feel a little bit stretching your hamstring. So if you feel like you've got tight hamstrings, just bring them a little bit in, because if you're like this and you just want to bend it, it's just the pressure is going to be on your meniscus, the medial meniscus, and it's just going to be bad for your knees. So bring it a little bit inside, internally rotate them, and just have it a little bit bent. But try to work on the flexibility so you've got a straight leg when you do this exercise. Let's work together to keep ourselves and others. Make sure you leave your thumbs and comments below and tell me if you like the video.